Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel, where we tap into the timeless wisdom of our elders. Today, we're diving into something that's both simple and profound, the power of forgiveness. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Forgiveness sounds like something we've all heard about, maybe even tried a time or two. But stick with me, because when we look at it through the eyes of those who've lived 7, 8, even 9 decades, it takes on a whole new meaning. As we age, life hands us a mixed bag, joys, sorrows, triumphs, and plenty of moments we'd rather forget. And for many elderly folks, forgiveness becomes a kind of secret weapon. It's not just about patching things up with someone else. It's about finding peace, reclaiming joy, and living out their later years with a heart that's light and free. These are people who've seen it all, and their wisdom on forgiveness, it's gold. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 powerful reasons why forgiveness matters so much, especially as we get older. Each one's backed by stories, insights, and a little something to make you think about your own life. Whether you're in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, or even if you're younger and just curious about what the elderly can teach us, this is for you. We'll explore how forgiveness heals, connects, and even shapes the legacy we leave behind. So, settle in, because this is going to be a journey. Oh, and if you're new here, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you don't miss out on more wisdom like this. All right, let's get started with reason number 1. Reason 1, healing past wounds. Forgiveness has this incredible ability to heal wounds that have been sitting with us for years, sometimes decades. And for the elderly, that's huge, because time has a way of piling up hurts if we let it. Think about it. A falling out with a friend, a family argument that never got resolved, or even a personal mistake that's haunted you. Those things don't just disappear. They linger like a splinter you can't quite pull out. But here's the thing. The elderly know that holding on to that pain doesn't punish anyone else. It just keeps you stuck. And science backs this up. Research shows that resentment can spike cortisol levels, mess with your sleep, and even wear down your immune system. For someone in their later years, that's a heavy price to pay. Let me tell you about Clara. She's 79, lives in a cozy little house in Tennessee, and for 40 years, she carried a grudge against her brother. Back in the 80s, he sold a piece of family land without telling her, and it broke her trust. They didn't speak for decades. Every holiday, every memory of their childhood was tinted with that bitterness. But then, a few years ago, Clara got a letter from him, just a simple note saying he was sorry. At first, she wanted to toss it, but something stopped her. She sat with it, thought about all those lost years, and decided to call him. That conversation wasn't a fairy tale ending. They didn't suddenly become best buddies, but it started something. Clara forgave him, not because he deserved it, but because she did. She says it was like opening a window in a stuffy room. Her headaches lessened. She started gardening again, and for the first time in years, she felt light. That's the power of forgiveness. It's a gift you give yourself. Now, forgiveness isn't about pretending nothing happened. It's not about saying, "Oh, it's fine." It's about deciding that the past doesn't get to run your present anymore. For the elderly, who might not have decades left to waste, that choice is everything. It's about healing those old wounds so they can enjoy the time they have. And here's where it gets practical. Start small. Maybe it's forgiving a neighbor for something petty or letting go of a grudge you've nursed for too long. It's not a race, it's a release. And the elderly will tell you the sooner you start, the freer you'll feel. So here's your step for today. Think about one thing or one person you've been holding on to. Write it down, sit with it, and ask yourself, what would letting this go feel like? If you're ready, maybe even reach out and let me know in the comments how it goes. I'd love to hear your story. Reason 2, strengthening bonds. Next up, forgiveness has this amazing way of strengthening the bonds that matter most. As we age, our world can get smaller. Friends move away, loved ones pass on, and the relationships we keep become like lifelines. For the elderly, forgiveness can be the glue that holds those connections together or even brings them back from the brink. Think about how easy it is for misunderstandings to pile up over the years. A harsh word here, a missed visit there, and suddenly you're not talking to someone who used to mean the world to you. But the elderly have learned something. Life's too short for that. And when they choose forgiveness, it's not just about fixing things. It's about building something stronger. Take Henry, for instance. He's 73, a retired mechanic from Oregon. He and his daughter hadn't spoken in almost a decade after a blowout over her life choices. Henry was stubborn. He thought she'd come around eventually. But years went by, and the silence grew louder. Then one day, he saw a photo of her with her new baby, his granddaughter, on a friend's phone. It hit him like a ton of bricks. He was missing out on more than just her life. So Henry wrote her a letter. He didn't make excuses or demand anything. He just said he was sorry for his part and that he missed her. A week later, she called. They met up, talked it out, and slowly they started rebuilding. Now, Henry's got a standing date to babysit that little girl every Saturday. He says forgiveness didn't just give him his daughter back. It gave him a family he didn't know he could have. That's the magic here. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it can rewrite the future. For the elderly, who know how precious time is, it's a way to say, this relationship matters more than my pride. And it's not always easy. Sometimes it takes guts to make that first move, but the payoff, it's worth it. If there's someone in your life you've drifted from, forgiveness could be the bridge back. It's not about who is right or wrong. It's about who you want in your corner as the years roll on. Here's your challenge. Pick one person you've lost touch with, someone you miss. Send them a message, a note, anything. Just say, hey, I've been thinking about you. See where it goes and drop a comment below to let me know how it feels to take that step. Reason 3, lifting the mind. Reason number 3, forgiveness can lift your mind in ways you might not expect. Aging comes with its share of mental battles, stress, regret, maybe even a touch of sadness as the years add up. For the elderly, those burdens can feel heavier, especially if they're lugging around old hurts or guilt. But forgiveness, it's like setting down a bag of bricks you didn't realize you were carrying. Mental health isn't just about avoiding the big stuff like depression, it's about keeping your mind clear and steady day to day. And unforgiveness, it's a thief. It sneaks in, stirs up anxiety, and keeps you replaying the same old arguments in your head. The elderly know this too well, and they've found that letting go can change the game. Let's talk about Evelyn. She's 68, from Florida. And for years, she couldn't forgive herself for a decision she made as a young mom. She'd worked long hours, missed some of her kids' milestones, and it gnawed at her. By the time she retired, that guilt was a constant shadow. She felt like she'd failed them, even though her kids were grown and fine. But then, at a community group, she heard someone say, "You did what you could with what you had." It stuck with her. Evelyn started journaling about it, talking to her kids, and little by little, she forgave herself. She realized she'd been a good mom in the ways that counted. She'd kept them fed, loved, and safe. That shift didn't just ease her guilt, it opened her up. She started painting, something she'd always wanted to try, and her days got brighter. Her family noticed it too. She wasn't just happier, she was present. Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, can do that. It cuts through the noise in your head and gives you room to breathe. For the elderly who might face loneliness or loss, that mental lift is a lifeline. It's not about erasing mistakes, it's about making peace with them so you can live now, not then. And here's a tip, it's okay if it takes time. The mind's a tricky thing, but every step toward forgiveness lightens the load. Try this today. Pick one thing you've been beating yourself up over. Say out loud, "I forgive myself for that. I did my best." Feel how that sits, and if you're up for it, share in the comments what you let go of. You might inspire someone else too. Reason 4, deepening the spirit. Now, let's get into something deeper. Forgiveness can grow your spirit. As we age, a lot of us start looking beyond the everyday, maybe to faith, maybe to something bigger than ourselves. For the elderly, forgiveness often becomes a spiritual practice, a way to connect with their beliefs and find meaning in the years they've lived. Across religions and philosophies, forgiveness is a thread that runs deep. Whether it's Christianity talking about turning the other cheek, Buddhism with its focus on letting go, or just a personal sense of peace, it's there. And the elderly, who've had time to wrestle with life's big questions, often lean into this. It's not just about feeling good, it's about feeling whole. Meet Walter. He's 87 from Texas, and after his wife passed, he was angry at the world, at fate, at everything. He'd been a churchgoer his whole life, but that loss shook him. For a while, he stopped going, stopped praying. But one Sunday, he wandered back, and the sermon was about forgiveness. It wasn't fancy, just a reminder that holding on to anger blocks you from grace. Walter took it to heart. He started praying again, not for answers, but to let go. He forgave the unfairness of her death, forgave himself for the fights they'd had, and something shifted. He felt her presence, not in a spooky way, but in a calm, steady one. His faith grew stronger, and so did his sense of purpose. He even started helping out at church, sharing his story with others who were grieving. That's what forgiveness can do. It's a doorway to something sacred. For the elderly, who might be closer to life's end, it's a way to make sense of it all. It's not about having all the answers, it's about finding peace with the questions. If you've got a spiritual side, or even if you're just curious, forgiveness might be worth exploring. It's less about rules and more about what feels true to you. Take a quiet moment today, maybe 5 minutes. Think about your beliefs, whatever they are, and how forgiveness fits in. Jot down a thought or two, or talk it over with someone you trust. Let me know in the comments what you discover. I'm all ears. Reason 5, passing down peace. Finally, forgiveness lets the elderly pass down something priceless, peace. As we get older, a lot of us start thinking about what we're leaving behind, not just stuff, but the lessons, the love, the way we've lived. And for many elders, teaching forgiveness is their way of handing peace to the next generation. This isn't about preaching, it's about showing. When an elderly person forgives, they're not just settling their own heart. They're setting an example. They're saying, look, life's messy, but you don't have to carry it forever. And that's a legacy that echoes. Let's look at Grace. She's 91, from New York, and she's got a big family, kids, grandkids, even a few great-grandkids. Back in the day, she had a falling out with her sister over an inheritance. It split the family for years. But when Grace hit her 80s, she decided it was time. She invited her sister over, they hashed it out, and forgave each other. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. Her grandkids saw it all. Now Grace makes a point to tell them that story, how she chose peace over being right. She wants them to know that forgiveness isn't weak, it's brave, and you can see it sticking. They're quicker to patch things up, less likely to hold grudges. Grace's forgiveness didn't just heal her, it's shaping how her family moves forward. That's the thing. The elderly know their time's limited, and they want to leave something good. Forgiveness becomes their wisdom in action, a way to say, here's how to live well. And for the rest of us, it's a chance to learn from them, to carry that peace into our own lives. So, think about the stories you've heard from the elders in your life. Maybe there's a lesson in there waiting for you to pick up. Here's your move. Share a story of forgiveness with your kids, a friend, anyone. It could be yours or one you've heard. Pass that piece along and pop into the comments to tell me about it. Let's keep this wisdom alive. There you have it, folks. 5 reasons why forgiveness is such a game changer, straight from the wisdom of the elderly. It heals past wounds, strengthens bonds, lifts the mind, deepens the spirit, and passes down peace. It's not just an act, it's a way of living that gets richer with age. If there's one thing the elderly teach us, it's this. Forgiveness isn't about the other person, it's about you. It's about choosing joy over bitterness, connection over isolation, and peace over regret. And no matter how old you are, that's a choice you can make today. Thanks for sticking with me through this one. It's been a long ride, but I hope it's left you with something to hold on to. If it did, give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs it, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. We've got more elder wisdom coming your way. Until next time, take a deep breath, think about what you can let go of, and live a little lighter. See you soon.